glory days at the stick. From who's got it better than us to brick by brick. It's always the 49ers way, from off-season to game day. Yeah, we talk back. It's the 49ers Cutback.
It's 49ers Cutback Podcast time. Welcome to the show. I'm ready to talk about a tight end battle between Charlie Woerner and Brayden Willis. And why is this a battle at the tight end position? Well, Charlie Woerner is known as the 49ers blocking tight end. He does it at a really high level. The 49ers, of course, have been wanting him to develop more and more into the passing game, which he hasn't quite been able to reach the expectations at which they wanted for him. So we've seen the 49ers go a couple of different ways, including keeping Ross Dwelley on the roster, to last year going ahead and bringing in Tyler Kroft. But Charlie Woerner's ability to block inline and in two tight end sets is definitely needed. So why is it a competition with Brayden Willis? Well, Brayden Willis is a do-it-all tight end as well, where Cameron Latu is more of a developmental guy, a guy that can win in the power slot. Brayden Willis is a guy that can probably do it all. He's a guy that can play H-back, a guy that can play inline, off-ball, move tight end. He's got a lot of potential. And I think Brayden Willis's ability to block is going to be the determining factor of whether Charlie Woerner makes this team or not. If Brayden Willis can block at or near the level of Charlie Woerner, then you got to think that Brayden Willis gives you more dynamics in the passing game. He runs better routes. He's more dangerous with the ball in his hands. He's proven to have better hands in college. Of course, all that has to translate. If it doesn't translate to the NFL game and we don't see it in training camp in the preseason, well, then Charlie Woerner is going to win this battle. Because ultimately, even though the 49ers went out and got two young guys at the tight end position in the draft, they still like Charlie Woerner's ability to block. And he's done a lot for this 49ers team in the time he's been in San Francisco. Now, Charlie Woerner, I'm sure, looked at the two draft picks and thought to himself, hey, if I don't make a change, if I don't do better, I'm not going to be on the 49ers 53-man roster come September 10th when they play Pittsburgh. And I think that that is a real possibility if he doesn't go out and produce during training camp and the preseason the way the 49ers have been expecting. They've definitely lit a fire under his tush because, let's be honest, Charlie Woerner, 1 minute you're on a roster, the next minute you're out of the league. Now, I do think there would be interest from other teams if the 49ers decided to waive Charlie Woerner because of his blocking prowess. And we've seen other teams take 49ers tight ends before and turn them into starters for their roster. So I think there would be a lot of excitement about other teams bringing in Woerner in that type of role. But Brayden Willis is the one that's going to have to take this away from Charlie Woerner. Because if Brayden Willis can't prove to be that tight end that can block in those two tight end situations and really excel in that area, but also have the ability to go play fullback if needed, if Kyle Juszczyk is out or the 49ers want to take advantage of a certain matchup, then it's going to make it difficult for the 49ers to move on from Charlie Woerner. Ultimately, both of these guys could make the roster, but I think it comes down to Brayden Willis. If Willis excels and is a big-time player in this 49ers offense, he has to be able to block, catch. He has to understand how to handle motions and everything like that. If he can, he has a real good shot to push Charlie Woerner off and potentially push himself into the tight end 2 spot. I think the belief is right now that tight end 2 is Charlie Woerner, with Ross Dwelley being 3 and the 2 young guys looking to come in and take them and move them out and take their spots. We talked a little bit about Cameron Latu versus Ross Dwelley in that training camp battle video. You can go check that out as well. Just go to the training camp battles in the playlist and you'll see all those there. And I think it's an exciting battle on that end because Ross Dwelley's been that receiving threat, but he struggled when he's trying to block. Well, that's where Latu kind of is right now, we think. He could always develop as well. But Brayden Willis is an exciting prospect because I think he's the most balanced tight end the 49ers have brought into the organization in a long time. When they had Ross Dwelley, they knew Ross Dwelley was efficient in the passing game, And he proved to be a diligent blocker in 2019. Since then, he's kind of fell off a little bit in the blocking. So they haven't had a balanced tight end. Then they go out and they get Charlie Woerner. So they believe, hey, let's get this blocking tight end like we did with George Kittle, and then we'll develop the passing game. It hasn't quite translated. So now you're getting a guy like Brayden Willis, who on film appears to be completely balanced. So now you can use him in the play action game. Not only can he block in line at the point of attack and hopefully get some movement, but he can also slip out and be open to make plays. So I think the 49ers are excited about getting a player on the roster like Brayden Willis that has that balance to be able to do everything that you're looking for the tight end position. And let's be honest, these young players have to prove to be capable because the odds are that George Kittle misses a game or two during the season. Last year, he started out by missing the first couple of games. And so getting him, getting a player that can step in and take those reps is entirely important for the 49ers. Is Brayden Willis that guy that could get starting reps in year one? I don't know. He's going to have to prove it on the field. But Brayden Willis definitely has the ability to do so. Good hands. And then he told people he runs a 4.6 40. If that's the truth, then you've got a very talented, very athletic tight end. He definitely looks the part on film at Oklahoma. Now we're going to get to see this training camp battle, on display. I think Charlie Woerner is going to go out and he's going to block the heck out of things. And if he still exercises his blocking abilities at a high level, he's going to be tough to beat out as far as making this roster. The only way he doesn't is if Brayden Willis shows out. But I think this is an interesting battle because a lot of it has to do with blocking. Because as long as Brayden Willis proves that he's more efficient in the passing game than Charlie Woerner, which shouldn't be that difficult right now, and is adequate at blocking, I think the 49ers could make a change. I think the likelihood is that Charlie Woerner in some capacity ends up being on this roster. But will he be tied in too? Will it be Brayden Willis? Will it be Cameron Latu? I think it's an interesting one. Let me know in the comments section down below who you think is going to win this battle between Charlie Woerner and Cameron Latu. And Brayden Willis. Who do you think is going to end up getting this job? Do you think they're going to keep 4 tight ends to keep Woerner and Brayden Willis? I think it's an interesting conversation to have because the tight end position has never been more open with the 49ers bringing in 2 tight ends. Before, it's always been, older veterans that they brought in from Michael Pruitt to bringing in, a player like Tyler Kroft. But now they're bringing in 2 young guys to compete at the position. So thank you guys so much for watching the episode. A new episode of Ant Hill is available on Patreon. You can go check that out. Me and Jay Hill talk shop and go over a bunch of different situations, including the tight end, so you can hear our opinions on that. And also the quarterback conversation with all the news coming out about how much different Trey Lance's motion looks working with Jeff Christensen. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate everyone's support. Training camp is here. It's going to be a lot of fun going out there and watching. So training camp content coming to the channel. I hope you guys will all join me. It's going to be a lot of fun. But until then, stay safe. And remember, the right way is always the 49ers.